It was 2012, the year everyone thought the world was going to end. But that didn't happen. In fact, 2012 was a great year. On one hand, my sister was getting married, and on the other hand, my brother was about to graduate from high school. And he was hoping to apply in Canada with full support of my parents. Now, you would think that with my siblings having such directions in their life, I would have something going on for me too. But I didn't. And as someone who is the youngest in her family and has been spoiled her entire life, that was something new to me, to not have everyone's attention on me. And that made me lonely. At first, it started off with just a speck of loneliness, and I really didn't think a lot about it. But that speck of loneliness started to go day after day, until it got to a point where I was afraid to tell people how I felt, because I didn't want to be called crazy. And I knew exactly what we do with people, what society does with crazy people. They're put in a box, labeled, and set to the side. I did not want to be in that box. But in a way, I was trapped. I would stay in a glass container. And I say glass because you could see right through me and think nothing is wrong. But in that container, I was stuck and alone. And I stayed in that container for a while, because what else was I supposed to do? And it really got me thinking, am I the only one here? Surely not. I'm only human. So I thought that maybe there could be others. What if there are others in my own society? And that realization that there could be others suffering too made me want to study psychology so I could help them. Now, flash forward to my second year, and I learned that there was this weight that stopped me getting out of the glass container. It was the fear of being judged, discriminated against, and rejected by the people I love and trust. That weight was mental health stigma. Curious by the topic, I decided to do research on it in the UAE. And I didn't discover a lot, but there is one notable author who did much research about it, and I'm honored to have her here today. So, inspired by her work, I decided to start my own study because there wasn't really a lot. And for the past year, I surveyed 150 students at this university. And there are two findings I found that I'd like to discuss. The first is that there's a lot more awareness of mental health than we had back in 2012. And that's great. But we are still reluctant to discuss our mental health. And that is tied to my second finding, which is the number one contributor to mental health stigma in the UAE is family. Now, as a collectivist culture, I understand that family is very important, and we don't want to disappoint our families ever. And that is why we don't talk about our mental health. But when I decided to study psychology, I knew I had to talk to my parents about my own mental health. And it didn't take me weeks or months. It took me years to convince them about the important mental health. But it was so worth it, because today they are here to support me. And our country And our country also encourages these kind of initiatives. And I'm a personal witness to this. Because of my research, I was invited to the prestigious Nobel Award ceremonies in Sweden. Now, I don't have the highest GPA in this university, which is why I think it's because of this research and my determination to spread awareness about mental health that got me that opportunity. So I am here today sharing with you my story for one reason. to encourage you to talk. Talk about your mental health. Encourage your loved ones to talk about your mental health. Because we all have to play a part to lift the stigma of mental health in the UAE, as that is the only way that we can get those people stuck inside their own glass container to step out. And with that, we can move forward as a community. Thank you.